What are the two behaviors that I've changed recently about myself? Hello, Transurfer, and welcome to TransurfingTV. I am Renee Garcia, and this is my video on the various stages of behavioral change. I am going to be using myself as an example today because I recently got over a couple of things that were sort of, I don't know, still existing in my mind that I was ready to part ways with. And I saw this little graph online. It really spoke to me because this is essentially what I've done or what I do when I do decide that it is time to evolve out of a behavior that is no longer serving me. So before I get started though, if you have not yet joined this awesome giveaway for these stickers, like this video and comment in the comment section below, I love Reality Transurfing, and you just might win a stack. So what are the two behaviors that I've changed recently about myself? Well, there were two things that were really bothering me. One, I have become worse and worse and worse with not accepting the weather. So I have essentially become obsessed or became obsessed with the daily weather, the weekly forecast. I was always checking the weather app, and I, in the recent years, have developed a not so good set of feelings about hot weather. Moving back to my hometown where the temperatures really skyrocket in the summertime, and I just got myself to a place where if I looked at that weather app and I saw that heat was coming, my mindset would start to go to a negative place. And it was almost like my moods were based on what the weather was going to be like. If it was a little overcast and cool, I was super happy. And if it started to heat up, I would start to become agitated and irritated and snappy at my boyfriend and not want to go outside. And it just became a little bit too much for me at a certain point. And I was like, okay, you're going to stop this thing. You're going to change this behavior. The second one is through this whole quarantine thing, developed a taste for sugar, a sugar habit, which is unlike me. I'm a keto person. I'm very, very low sugar, high protein, vegetables, all that kind of stuff. And I started eating a lot of candy, going to the store and getting candy and kind of being sneaky about it. And I decided that that one also had to go. So here are two behaviors that I decided I wanted to rid myself of these behaviors out of my reality. So what was the first step that I took? The first step that I took was becoming aware of the problem, right? Realizing that that behavior was in fact no longer serving me, maybe didn't even ever serve me, right? So this behavior is not productive. It's putting me in a mindset that is not the most beneficial for me in my reality, and it keeps me highlighting a sector of reality that isn't my most optimal, right? So with the sugar addiction, I was thinking about sugar and then I would eat it and then I would feel bad about myself, some like self-esteem stuff or low confidence. Why am I doing this? Why can't I get a hold of this? So that's not really the sector of reality I want to be living in. And it's the same with the environmental stuff, the weather, right? I was constantly looking to my environment to see that like the weather wasn't in line with what I wanted, right? Inner intention. And I really just had to become aware of these things, what I was doing specifically and how it was affecting me. Step two, desire to change the behavior. Okay, so I'm aware of the behavior, right? And then the second step is I have to say, like, I'm ready, I'm over it, I'm ready to change. I don't want this behavior anymore. I want to evolve out of this behavior. That brings me to step three, intention setting. This is a big one. This is you sort of setting the groundwork for change. This is you committing. This is you coming up with ideas of how you can evolve out of this behavior. And setting the intention that you are going to move out of this and leave this behind. And this is really a great graph actually, because this is the movement that we're doing when we decide to follow our higher self and evolve out of a behavior that's no longer serving us. We are stepping up to that higher version of us. So intention setting. So me with the sugar, you know what? I'm going to give it up. I'm going to allow myself maybe one thing a week or one thing a month or something like that, but it's not serving me anymore. I'm going to give it up. And with the weather, I am going to stop obsessing about the weather. I am going to be happy regardless of what the weather is. So this is my intention, right? Then comes the action, and the action is the real money shot. This is, none of this stuff is gonna matter unless you're ready, willing, and able to take the action away from that undesirable behavior. So my action in this case, one, for let's say the weather, I deleted my weather apps, okay? Like I literally stopped my regular movement of checking the weather and having that thing to go to, which ultimately was a habit. I mean, it was really bad, guys. I was probably checking the weather like at least 5 times a day. I mean, come on, you can check the weather once a week and see what the forecast is, and that's enough. And people do this with the media too, and they do this with social media as well. It's an obsessive behavior, it's compulsive, and I think ultimately it would make me feel as though I was in control, but I wasn't, because obviously I can't control the weather. So I realized that that checking of that app was kind of making me feel something that was a false sense of security, that I had some control over the weather, which obviously I do not. So taking the action to delete the app, right? Telling my boyfriend, please don't have Siri read the weather off in the morning, because I don't want to, I want to completely rid myself of that habit of needing to know. With the sugar, I am going to replace things that are not healthy with things that are healthy. I'm going to stop going to the grocery store, driving by the grocery store kind of by accident and going inside to see what's there, right? I know always that action, that behavior leads to me buying candy and bringing it home or eating it in my car. I'm over that. So my actions were to stop the behavior, right? To put a barrier in between me and the behavior, and then also practicing a desirable replacement. Okay, so this is a big one. With the weather, there really was no replacement. I just had to stop doing it. With the sugar, I've got a bunch of keto snacks, keto sweet things that actually don't have sugar. So these are my desired replacements. It's me having something in exchange for that thing, so I don't feel like I'm just left hanging. I have a little bit of backup, and it's working really, really well. So then that brings me to my accomplishment. I'm not checking the weather. I haven't had any sugar in a number of days now. Yay, right? I did it. So now what my objective is to sustain the new behaviors and keep myself out of the old ones. Understand what my triggers are, understand what I have put in replace of those behaviors, and remain committed to this change, right? So to sum it up, you got to become aware of the problem. You got to have the desire to change the behavior, do a little brainstorming of what you could do to change the behavior. Set your intention, take the action, and then sustain the new behavior, and you will ultimately step yourself right up on out of a behavioral pattern that is no longer serving you, therefore connecting with a little bit higher version of yourself. So again, please like this video and comment in the comment section below. I love Reality Transurfing. To win an awesome stack of these, I'm sending a ton out every day, and I would like to send some to you. Thanks so much for watching my video, everyone. Bye.